Hello everybody, it's Jenny McGarvey and I am happy to share with you today how I am planning in my Happy Planner. As you can see, this is the week of February 29th through March 6th. I just take out the first page and then get started. This week I am using my Scraptastic Club February 2016 Plan On It kit, plus a couple of stamp sets from their planner collection, and then also another set of stickers that came from the Gale Song kit or the add-on. I don't remember which one exactly. I like to do stickers and stamps, and this will be part of my memory planner, which I use the planner for keeping track of events and things going on, and then I add photos and little bits of journaling, just tiny ones, to round out the week in what I like to call a year in the life album. So I first work on the planning, then I go back and do the decorating and the photos. So if you're not into the memory part of it, like the photos and stuff like that, you can absolutely just stop watching then. Anyway, so as you can see, I do a little bit of stamping. These are just a couple of different little icons. The first one was a star, and then this one is a tooth. Obviously, the tooth represents a dentist appointment, and I think it's really fun just to add a little bit of something that is just cute. That's it. But it's not crazy, it's not over the top, and it's not a ton of decoration. I am at heart just really super functional. So adding the tooth just helps me notate that event in my planner. I'm going to start looking through the sticker sheets from this month and find ones that I want to use in that, and then also familiarize myself with what stickers exactly I have to work with. Sometimes it's hard to just keep everything straight. I don't know if that's true for you or not, but for me it absolutely is. I just have a hard time remembering. I put down one of the little tape stickers. They're clear stickers and they really just obviously resemble tape, which is why they're called that, but they're super cool. I really like them. They just add a little bit of function or sometimes decoration. That one says play, play, play all over it, and I use that because it is for the afternoon, which is when my kids have different sports activities, and so obviously those go together, and it helps me note the sports theme or whatever in a totally cute way. I am using my Curarina twin pens today and most days. I love them so very much. They are a felt tip pen on one side and then a highlighter on the other, and they are lightly scented. I do not recommend these in an Erin Condren planner. They do bleed, which is unfortunate, but they do not in the Happy Planner or in the Inkwell Press or other ones like that, so I do use them a lot. I do use the highlighter sometimes, though I don't seem to have been lately. Clearly it's something I just sort of have moved on from, but that doesn't mean I won't come back to it. As you can see here, I'm using this sticker, but I'm going to use my craft knife and cut off one end of it. That's kind of something I like to do when I maybe either don't need the whole thing or I know that I want to use it again, and then I want to sort of not savor it but stretch it to make it last a little bit longer. In this case, I didn't want to use the whole thing. I didn't have a plan for the other part, but I do end up using it in the future. I like these stickers from the Scraptastic Club kits. They have a really nice thick texture. They are definitely not cheap feeling at all, but I can use whatever pen I want to stamp on them. And I didn't mean stamp, I meant write, because I was inking up a stamp, so I was distracted. Sorry, guys. I am going ahead and using the pencil icon to notate the late start on Tuesday. However, Tuesday is not late start day. Wednesday is late start day. So after I've done all that, then I realize, oh, I totally screwed up, so I need to put late start on Wednesday. So for now, I'm not sure what I'll do with Tuesday. But at the very end, after I'm finished with my video, I realize that I can just take a photo and cover that up. And I'll notate that later, which photo that I end up moving for that. Anyway, so now we're going to go back through more stickers and try to figure out what I'm going to do. I like to try to keep the things in my Happy Planner fairly tight. And by that I mean I don't necessarily write in all three of the boxes. I like to leave it open for photos or pieces of memorabilia or for decoration later when I come back to do the memory planning part of it, or the memory part, or whatever you want to call it. So like that, for instance, that's where I kept the evening open on Tuesday and Wednesday, because then now it's perfect. Either a large sticker or some stamping or whatever, or a photo will fit perfectly right there. Awesome. Finished with the first half of the week, and I will move on to the second part of the week, which it's just always really fun for me because I guess it's the weekend, and so that just mentally makes me happy. Isn't that great, right? Anyway, so I am loving, loving, loving label stickers for my planning. I could break out my label stamps, and maybe I'll do that next week. Who knows? Anyway, I think it's just because they're super simple. They are a nice, perfect size. They're not too big, they're not too small, and they do exactly what I need them to do. Because as I've said probably 1,000 times, I'm just really at heart a functional planner with a little bit of decor added in for fun's sake, I guess you could say. But by and large, I really only use functional items in my planner because we really do have a pretty busy schedule and I want to keep track of that. Now here on Friday, I'm spicing it up a little bit with 2 stickers for the same event. I'm using the little geotag to put the time and the place, and then the label sticker just to define it. So for example, the label says volunteer because that's what I do on Friday mornings, and then I use the geotag to say where and what time. It's just a little bit of something to make it a little bit more fun. Obviously, I could just write volunteer 8 a.m. and then call it a day. Don't have to use label stickers or anything like that, but they're cute. They add something a little bit more fun, and when the week comes together, it all is really fantastic. And like I've told you before in the past, I really usually end up going kind of with a color scheme, and how I chose that one this week is I went through a few of the cards that I wanted to use in the memory planning. I didn't know which ones I would use exactly because I didn't know which photos I would use, but I used a common color scheme of like yellow and light blue and green, and so that's sort of how I chose some of my stickers. So you see that I'm not really using any reds or anything like that because that's not what I'm using this week. It's pretty loose. I didn't go crazy sticking really strongly to that, as I never do. I like to keep it fairly fluid and open so that I can change things up if I want to or if it's necessary. Now, Saturday was a pretty busy day, and so it does not adhere to that idea where I like to try to keep a box open at some part in the day so that I can go back and add things. It was just way too busy for that. I had too many things to write down, but it's okay because it ends up fine. I can still add something, and there's no problem there. Now, sometimes at the end when I'm finished, I'll realize, oh, I could have done this or I could have done that, and sometimes I just move on and I don't worry about it. But sometimes, like in the case of this week, like where you saw where I did the wrong thing on Tuesday, I realized something inadvertently later that would be a little bit better. Because there are so many ideas swirling out there. There are so many different things to do. And sometimes, quite frankly, when I'm actually doing it, I completely forget about those things. And then I remember later, oh yeah, what about punching that photo into a circle? That would have been super cool. And so I'll go back and I'll do that later if I can get the photo up off the page or whatever like that. Just because I want my pages obviously to be great. Now right there on Sunday, you see I used the second part of that sticker that I had trimmed over in the first part of the week. And again, using a sort of a 2-part approach to one event. But it's cool because it's still not crazy, it's still pretty simple or whatever, and I can add a lot of just fun to a layout by doing that and not just putting one sticker down and writing all of the things on that one sticker. And again, here I'm using just one sticker, so it's not like, oh, I'm going crazy and using a ton of supplies, which really, again, isn't my MO. Now, adding a little bit of fun with that little circle sticker, it's just kind of great to add little touches here and there. I'm not going crazy and over embellishing or anything like that. I just want to add like that tape sticker. Saturday was so busy. My youngest son had 2 games, my middle son had 1 game, my oldest son had 2 games. Then we had a banquet at night. It was a crazy day and we were really like, oh my gosh, how's that going to end up? So that sticker that I put down that says that wasn't so bad really totally was perfect for that particular day. Now, as you can see, I cut up one of those cards, the decoration cards from the This Life Noted kit, the one that says True Story. I really loved the kit, but in the horizontal format, I was never going to use that card, and the other side was purple, and I probably wasn't going to use that one either. So I decided, you know what, why don't I just cut the circle out and then put it directly onto my page? It's a fun way to fill up some of this space. It's very simple. It's something I already had. I wasn't going to probably use it in a different way anyway, and it looks really cute right there. So I'll just go ahead and use my ATG gun and adhere that right there. And even if I didn't decorate anything else, I think this page is fantastic. It's got a little bit of pop to it, but it's nothing that's outrageous or anything like that. So by and large, I'm pretty much finished with decorating the week. Now at this point, I kind of just need to go and add some photos. As you can see, I've pulled out some photos and then a page protector. And this is a really simple page protector. It's just two 4x6s. I will actually alter it, however. I'm going to make one of it 3x4s and leave the other one as a 4x6. I'm going to just use my sewing machine. I do have a fuse tool. I prefer to use my sewing machine. I just like the way that it looks, and I like the way that it holds up a little bit better, but it's completely personal preference, and you could absolutely use the fuse tool. Now I like to trim my photos up to fit in the boxes sometimes, and sometimes I like them to overlap. There isn't a whole lot of rhyme or reason. It really just sort of depends on what's going on around there. Now this is one of those instances that I was talking. Sorry about that. That's one of those instances where I like to measure the photo, I cut it up, I glue it down, and then I realized later, you know what might have been a whole lot better is if I'd done something else. So then I pull it up and fix it. So as you can see there, I measured a little rectangle, but I'm going to go back later after I'm done and punch a circle out of it. I don't know why I didn't think of it at the time. I just didn't. Anyway, now I am laying out the way that I'm going to work on that page protector that goes right inside the album. I probably should have moved that page behind. It probably would have been a little bit easier to see. I'm so sorry about that. Anyway, like I had said before, I selected a few different items I wanted to maybe possibly include if it worked. And you can see that I was sticking to the yellow, light blue, and green. I don't know why. They just really sort of spoke to me and they all looked good together. And so I left it like that. Now I'm going to take that 4x6 card and adhere my photo right on top of that white block. You could have done that, or I could have added some lines for journaling. Either way, it would have been super cool. And then slide it in that page protector and then slide the 3x4 card on the front. It's crazy because the one side looks like two 3x4s and then the back looks like a 4x6. But you know what? It's really genuinely just what worked best for me for this week and then what page protectors I have left. I need to go stock up on some more of these. I only had the one package and it's time. Anyway, as you just saw, I took a 4x6 journaling card and I cut it in half, and I'm only using the one side. That's a great way to take something to modify the way that you need to use it. I didn't want a 4x6 journaling card. I wanted a 3x4. This is what I had, and this is what matched my color scheme. So there you go. Now I'm pulling out the die cuts that come in the kit. They're exclusive. And I really want to use that today. It's super cute, but I keep looking at it and thinking there's got to be something else. So taking some of those tape stickers, I'm going to adhere down a simple basic one, which is I think yellow. Let's see in a second. Yep, there we go. I'm going to pull the yellow one up and adhere it down. And then I'm going to pull up the clear one that has the days of the week on it and then sort of stagger it a little bit, and then adhere the die cut right on top of that. And it makes the whole thing just a little bit more interesting. But again, as you saw, it's totally simple. It's just two stickers and a die cut. It's not anything that's really all that crazy, but it really worked out well for me, and I'm really excited about the way that that page turned out. Now that 4x6 card, it's really driving me crazy how the 3x4 is sort of swimming around in the page protector. So I'm just going to go ahead and adhere it right down to the 4x6 because I know that that's where it's going to go, and then I don't have that problem anymore. Now see, as you can see, it looks like two 3x4s in the page protector, but it's really not. It's just really one big 4x6 card. So I'll take the sticker and trim the edge off and making it exactly how I want it instead of having it be that one longer sticker. It's just a way that you can make any embellishment or any card work just for you. They don't have to be the way that they came. You can use them in any way that works best for either your project or the way that you particularly like it, or for your needs as well. Now I did still need some cards for the backside. I don't know why, it just really, I couldn't quite get it to work the way that I had chosen it, which is completely fine. So I found that Raffi singing quote one, and I'll use that on the left side, and it's perfect. I mean, it's black, and so it goes with the color scheme, but it's also got that really bold, contrasty look to it too, which is super cool. Now I'm going to adhere that smaller photo to a card, and I picked out that heart one, but I'm not really sure that's the one that's really going to go for me this particular week, so I need to look through the cards again and see if I can find one that will work for this particular space and look at the cards in a different way. Because sometimes when I choose cards, I don't exactly know how I'm going to use them. So see, look at that one. It has a 2 on the back, and it's really neat, but I wasn't looking at it the same way as I was now, that I needed something to mat that photo on. I'll just adhere my photo right over on top of the 2, so then you can't see that anymore, so it just looks like my photo has photo corners on the edges. Isn't that neat? And then I'll use that label and adhere that right to the center and be able to add my tiny bit of journaling, and then it's a whole different thing than it was when we began, which was just a filler card that had a 2 on it. Now I like to use a date stamp as well. It's really a really super simple way to get all of the information that you need. Sometimes it's a text. Most of it for me is always a date stamp, and it's just really super simple and super basic, and I like the way that it looks. So date stamps are always a real win-win for me. Now I'm at the end pretty much, and I need to add a little bit of embellishing to that bottom 4x6 card. Now there are so many cute little elements, and I don't know exactly what I want to do, and I'm loving these strip stickers. So I decided that I'm just going to trim off the edges that don't have any words on it and add that right on there to there. And then I'm going to add a piece of flair. Side note, I think I'm going to actually remove the flair. It adds a lot of bulk to this particular album that I think in the end is going to end up pretty thick to begin with. And even with the big expander rings on there, I just don't know that that's going to be big enough. So I love the way the Panda Flare looks. It's so, so cute, but I really don't think for practicality reasons I'm going to end up leaving it there. It's still there for right now, but I think in the end I will probably pull that up, even though it's super adorable and I really do love it. So now I can add all of those cards into the page protectors, and as you can see, the top ones are sliding around because I have not used my sewing machine yet to divide those, but I will do that after, and then they will not have that same effect where they're swimming around. But that's really it. It's so cool to be able to make things work for yourself, for your own designs. And I'll just add a little bit of handwritten journaling to the page protector using my black Curarina pen. I love it because I can just add the few words that I need to add for posterity, that in the future when I don't remember, oh, why is there a picture of a donut in the window? I'll remember, oh yeah, we went to donuts that morning. Maybe I won't remember the exact incident, but it will be helpful to remember and jog my memory about these specific times. So I don't need to have a ton of handwritten journaling. Little things I do believe will probably jog our memories in the future, and I think that's pretty neat. So I love that this project is combining planning and project life, both of which I absolutely truly love, and I'm glad to have it all together in one compact place that I can combine both things. Now as you can see, another little trimmed up photo right there at the top. I made it 1.5 inches wide so that it would fit within the box, and then I can go ahead and go back to the first half of the week, which is already in my planner. Don't you see all those pages? They just make me so happy. And then I can add photos and other embellishments to the first half of the page as well, since the second half is now completely finished. Except for, like I said, I'm going to go back and punch that baseball photo. Anyway, I have that photo of my son, and it works perfectly down there in those 2 evening slots that I did not fill. That's exactly why I like to leave different random spots open, because there I can have a bigger photo right there on the page, and I think it just looks super. Now on the top, I'm adding that baseball photo. I had measured the height that I wanted it to be and where it would fit. That is one of the ones that I will go back and I will cover up the mistake. I don't know why it didn't occur to me initially. That's okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take one of these strip photo stickers, and add it right there at the very bottom underneath that photo. I love the contrast of the black sticker underneath there with the white paper. It looks fabulous. And then I'm looking for another one because I want to cover up the afternoon header for no reason. Those things all did happen in the afternoon. It's just that I thought that it would be fun to put that right there. As you can see, we're just getting so close to being done. It's really such a simple process, and it's really, the more that I do it, getting to be a lot easier. Each week comes together. Now I remember I had this journaling card I loved, and I wasn't going to be able to use it because it has the dates, and I'm done with February now. So I'm just going to take my circle punch, and I'm going to punch out where it has the February 29th and add that directly to my page as an embellishment. I think it's a super fun way to use supplies that maybe it's not going to be able to be used anywhere else because it's got the date with the year. So I'll just adhere that right there, then with a little sticker, and we'll call it a day. This page will be completely done. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking a look at my video. I hope you enjoyed looking at how I memory plan this week in my Happy Planner. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a thumbs up. It lets me know that you liked the video, and it lets YouTube know what you like to see as well. Thank you so much, and make it a great day.